Hello everybody, we're going to be reading this book, Be Your Own Psychic by Sherron Mayes. So I'm going to be reading this chapter from it. Balance your yin-yang energy and understand the dynamics of your aura. We have to free half of the human race, the woman, so that they can help to free the other half. Right. Before you begin developing your psychic abilities, there's sometimes very important that you need to take on board. You can become highly intuitive, but you also need to learn how to use your newfound talent in your everyday life. You may discover all the inspiration and inner guidance you want, but you need to act on it and make it work for you. So it's essential to discover your strengths and weaknesses so that you can work on them to optimize your psychic powers. Some of you will inevitably find it a lot easier than others to develop these intuitive skills thanks to the development of our minds. As many philosophers and scientists have said over the years, we only use a small part of our brain. The way we think and act, coupled with our childhood and adult experiences, will stimulate some parts of our brain more than others. A go-getting stockbroker who plays competitive sports in his spare time will develop different parts of his brain compared to a sensitive artist who spends a lot of time alone. To explain fully, we need to understand that every living entity has a cosmic energy called chi within them. This energy is polarized into a forceful and receptive aspect known as yin and yang. When we operate from both these energies, flow easily, and we have perfect balance in our mind, body, and emotion. Balance is essential to all aspects of our health because it keeps you rooted within yourself. This feeling of being grounded brings an inner harmony that means we learn to respond consciously to events in our lives, however problematic, with control and awareness, rather than simply reacting thoughtlessly. A balanced mind and body means you are more generous and kind. You think more positively, and because you feel secure within, you take other people's feelings into account, even in crisis. Imbalance, on the other hand, makes you ungrounded and weak. Because you are stressed and reactive, your energies become blocked in your body, mind, and emotions, which leads to a release of toxic chemicals that cause ill health. You react in a self-centered manner because you can only respond through your own mental state, whether fear, insecurities, or depression. Oriental therapies such as acupuncture, reflexology, shiatsu, and acupressure are known for rebalancing these energies, removing the blockages to create healing in the body and mind. This is why, after one of these treatments, patients often experience a feeling of inner calm. Yin energy is feminine and introspective and dominates the right side of the brain, which holds the key to our creative, sensitive, and intuitive qualities. Yang energy is masculine, bringing logic, assertiveness, and practicality, and relates to the left side of the brain. In order to use our creative psychic gifts fully, we need to have them balanced, integrating both sides of our brain. Too much yin energy can mean you're a dreamer who lacks motivation. You may have flashes of inspiration, creative and intuitive thoughts, but be unable to use them constructively. Too much forceful yang energy may mean you're very pragmatic and assertive, but can never relax and be receptive enough to listen to what your inner voice has to say. This is how much of society has progressed. Many of us have become too yang-orientated, reliant on every sort of technology, from the dishwasher in the kitchen to the spell checker on our computers at work. We analyse our problems, but we've forgotten how simply to feel. How you are predisposed will match your response to this book. Being psychic is one thing, but the skill is being able to use that ability to make things work for you. The extreme young people among you will be determined to succeed, frustrated if your psychic awareness doesn't develop quickly enough. You will need to discover that it isn't a race. The extreme young people may get lost in the psychic exercises and possibly lose sight of their objective, but you can learn to become more balanced to get the best of your own potential. The perfect quote to express how we can integrate our masculine and feminine energies comes from Lorna Marcy Tiergarten, an acupuncture specialist, who says the Taoist idea of psychological balance is to embrace both the female and male side of our natures, to both receptive and active accordingly to circumstances. The most masculine man is not only strong and active, but also gentle and receptive. Strong meaning assertive, not aggressive. The most feminine woman is not only gentle and receptive, but also strong and active. Receptive meaning accepting, not dependent. To discover exactly where you are now, I've devised a quiz that will show you how yin right-brained or yang left-brained you are. So I'm going to be going through these 15 questions, and you just have to pick A, B or C as your answer. So, number 1. You go to your favourite restaurant and find the special dish you always order is not up to your usual standard. Do you send it back? A. Definitely. After all, you're paying for it. B. No. It's easier to eat it. Or C. Possibly, but you'd rather not make a fuss. Number 2. You have an interview for a highly paid job. How successful a candidate do you feel you will be? A. You feel it's unlikely you'll get the job, but you're going out of interest. B. You want the job and you'll prove that you're what they're looking for. Or C. It could go either way. Question 3. What exercise are you most interested in doing? A. You're interested in more gentle forms of exercise like yoga, walking or tai chi. B. Active competitive sports. Or C. You love all types of sports and exercise. Question 4. Do you remember your dreams clearly? A. Sometimes, depending on how quickly you wake up. B. Nearly, sometimes even in colour. Or C. Not aware that you dream at all. Question 5. If you asked to organise a function for 30 people, arranging food venues, etc., how confident would you feel about doing it? A. You'd immediately get on the phone and start organising. B. Act frustrated and panic. Or C. Relax, do your best, and enjoy the experience. Question 6. When reading about astrology, reincarnation, or things that can't be easily proved, are you A. Open-minded, the universe is a strange place and you are fascinated by anything different? B. Cynical, you believe only the scientific approach? Or C. Totally open, you have often felt you have psychic abilities yourself? Question 7. In a group discussion, do you sit back and let others say their piece? A. Yes, if everyone's talking, you'd rather not interrupt. B. Definitely not. If you have a point, you'd make it. That's what discussions are for. Or C. You say something if it's necessary. Question 8. In a dilemma, would you follow your gut feeling or hunches? A. What feelings? You just think things through. B. You try to listen to your feelings. They're often more accurate than your logical views. Or C. You're aware of your feelings, but you don't always trust them and prefer the logical approach. Question 9. If asked to work a computer that you'd never seen or used before, how would you react? A. Confident, look at the manual and follow the instructions. B. Not very confidently, but if in doubt, you'd ask for help. Or C. Wouldn't know what to do, computers make you nervous. Question 10. When you feel emotional or upset, do you bottle things up? A. No, you need to talk to get things off your chest. B. Your volatility makes you say things you eventually regret. Or C. You'd rather forget about it. Discussing it opens up more problems. Question 11. Do people often tell you that you're pushy or dominant? A. Yes, all the time, but that's how you get things done. B. No, they have no reason to. Or C. Depends on your mood. Question 12. Have your partners generally been outgoing, assertive types who take control? A. Definitely not. You tend to attract analytic, unambitious types. B. No, you attract calm but assertive types. C. Yes, most of the people you have attracted have been outgoing and assertive. Question 13. How would you feel about attending a meditation course? A You like the idea. It would calm you down a bit. B. Not interested. You wouldn't be able to sit still. Or C. You'd consider it. Question 14. Would you describe yourself as easygoing and laid back? A. Yes, nothing worries you too much. B. No, you're a born worrier and prefer to be in control. Or C. Sometimes you can appear calm to others, but inside you panic. Last question. Do people describe you as having a fun-loving personality? A. No, you're serious and can be introverted. B, yes, most of the time you're extrovert and gregarious. Or C, it depends on your mood. So if you get your 15 questions and your 15 answers and you add them up as like this. So question 1, A. If you answered A, you get 10 points. If you answered 0 for B, you get 0 points. If you answered C, you get 5 points. And it will go all the way down to your question, to what you answered on question 15. If you answered A, you get 0 points. B, 10 points. C, 5 points. So the scores and what they mean. If you got 0 to 45 points, you are very yin orientated, right brain tendency. You tend to be dreamy, sensitive, and hide your feelings rather than express them. You may be creative and intuitive, but find it hard to put your ideas into practice. You may lack energy and have no inclination to exercise because you are living more in your head and not feeling grounded in your own body. You could find it hard to mix socially in large crowds, preferring your own company or that of a few close friends. This will depend on how yin your energy is. The lower the score in this category, the more yin you will be. You may experience a lot of otherworldly happenings, but lack the motivation and abilities to use your intuition in everyday life. As well, you need to focus on your logical, pragmatic thoughts as well as your feelings. They are equally important. If you have a creative idea for a book or a wacky invention, make sure you do something about it. Learn to be more assertive when asking for what you want. Make a point of expressing yourself clearly, so you feel you are heard. Assertiveness classes could be useful, and more active sports such as tennis or aerobics may invigorate you. If you got 50 to 75 points, you are fairly balanced with a good measure of yin and yang energy. This means that you can combine logic and intuitive in equal measures and are not extreme in introversion or extroversion. You will be able to develop your abilities easily and use them wisely, as you have a good understanding of people and come across as an easy person to communicate with. You may find that you'll lean to the yin and yang or yang more predominantly according to the stress or circumstances in your life. Become aware of your reactions at that time. Relax, and if you feel you can't solve a problem, turn to an intuitive responses. If you got 80 to 150 or 250 points, you are very young, left-brained. You tend to be extrovert, logical and ambitious, even dynamic. Of course, you will still have the yin, right-brained qualities of intuition, but overall energy is the forceful yang that can override your sixth sense at times. How can you listen to your inner voice when you are rushing through life, barely pausing for breath? You need to balance yourself to bring more harmony into your life and access your potent power. You must find time to relax, and yoga, tai chi, reflexology, or shiatsu will help you to become more centered. Try not to be too dominant in your relationships, at work or home. Make a point of tuning into what you feel rather than what you think, and be more aware of other responses to things you say. Creativity is also very balancing, bringing out the yin intuitive side. So take up a hobby that helps you, such as painting, writing, or poetry. The keys is to becoming more yin is to go with the flow, where the extreme yang energy will manipulate and try to control. So I hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. So if you add up your scores, and I'll just leave it at that for you to have a think about. Thank you for listening. Pause the scores if you need to add your scores up.